Okay, looking at our restoration work in Unis Pro again. Right now I'm in complete work, and in here is all of our jobs that we need to go execute restoration on. And what are we trying to do here? Well, number one is we want to track all of our work. We want to dispatch that work out to our crews. We want to then be able to report on that for completion status and for billing. So those are our objectives here. And what we have is uh, data from the host job or the main job. This was the construction job for which the work was done that requires the restoration. And then this is a separate work request that the customer will send over to go execute the work that was generated by this job. So to get this in here, we can say add location down here, add a new location, and fill out the information at the top here. Or the much easier way to do this is to go into this Manage Locations button. So we go in here, it brings in all of our jobs, and this is sorted by the order that they were entered. So if we wanted to enter a new one, we'd come down here, and what I recommend we use is new. This is a new job that we're entering that we need to get the work request from WeEnergies from, but we don't yet have it. This parent job is our IO, 1212. And this is the old job that, because it's a construction job that caused us to have to do this. So 4567890. It's a 7-digit number. 1212 Main Street. Good spelling of Main there, Bob. And we're going to do this in and that's it. Wisconsin 53149. So you can see here when that comes up, it shows us that 53149 is split between two cities. We want that one there. This is the region. All this work is in Western. And you noticed all I did is I typed in the first letter, W, boom, tab, D, tab. There, in the Western, there's a WK and a WT. So in that case, if I type W in here, it's going to ask me which one I want. I just want the D. And then my due date, 6/6, tab, and it assumes it's this year. So that's all the information I need. And then when I hit save, which I'm not going to do here, it'll go forth and determine the lat long. If for some reason this data, any of this data is nulled out, that means it didn't find an exact match. And we need to take this address and go to Google Maps or just a zip code or lookup or lat long lookup and go find this information. But 95+% of the time, this data comes in, and at this point would go save, but I don't want to. We have this data. So one more time. So here, location number is the number of the job, the work request that we're going to get to go do the restoration. Parent job number is the IO. Reference number is the construction work request that generated the need for this work. Then obviously address, city, state, zip, region, division, required date. That's pretty straightforward. I'm going to go ahead and close this without saving. So now we get a job in, and we need to go find it because we now know that it needs to be done. So if you know that construction job, you can go up here in the filter and put it in there and tab out, and it brings it right up. Now you can go in here and put in the new work request number that goes along with this work, and then go to the documents and add a new document. This is where you put the work request so that it's available to the crew. Now, what we do in the report, and we're going to go right over to the report here in a second. Boom. Here's the report we've generated, is the status depends on those two fields. So what it's looking for is that there is a 7-digit number in here and that there is at least one document associated. If those two conditions are met, then this status will change from paperwork, which means we're waiting for it, to pending. Too far there. To pending. And then the receive date will auto-populate based on the date that that document is entered. We'll probably have to do a little bit of work here to get these dates right, but I'd ask, go ahead and get all the documents in, and then I'll circle back and update those dates for you. This report will now bring in, the contractor as a static, the address, city, zip. In the template I was sent, there's a blank field here. Here's a service center, service type. Again, this is the construction work request in the IO. And this complete date is the date that is required to be done by. And then I've added 2 new columns here. This is the work request number to go do the restoration work. And this is the actual complete date. This report will also renders on 2 tabs. The first tab is all the work that's not complete. Tab 2 is a couple of dummy jobs I put in for testing, and it brings it in and it shows that they are complete. So that's the report we're going to get for tracking. This information goes to the dispatch, and then we're going to want to bill this. So let's take a look at the billing process real quick. So I'm going to close this because I put those 2 dummies in there and I completed them, and I created this invoice. So this invoice is pulling in here, and this is by the location information, and it's got my specs. So I can now go in here and see exactly what I'm billing, and it should come up to $1,200 for these 2 little examples. And if I go back to my billing report, wrong button, Bob. There we go. It's my report builder tool. Here's the billing. So this billing comes out nice and sweet. It has the billing work request here. It has the units. And again, there's like 20 some units available for the crews to charge to, but this will only bring in those that have something charged to them. So hopefully, as you're going through and doing your billing, you can just go line by line by line. And then for reference, here's the dollars that those add up to, and the total dollars for this invoice. And so with that, we've entered our information. We've got a tracking report to track it. Something that I didn't mention is that the crew does not see a job in their dispatch wizard until it says pending. If it's status is paperwork, then the crew will not see that. So it's very, very important that when you go in there to get a job ready to go for the crew, this location here has to be the new location number, and which is the work request number, and the job card has to be loaded. If those 2 things are done, the status changes from paperwork to pending. It flows to the crew, and we're good to go. So give this a whirl. If you have any issues or questions, please immediately call me and we'll rectify it. I think we're getting close on the process, but it's still a bit of a work in process. So thanks so much, and look forward to hearing from you.